Today is 20th January 2021 and it is 5:30 that we are taking extra class. So I welcome you and I wanted to show you some PDF slides where this knowledge has been used. Knowledge of correlation and regression has been used in practical terms, but that was not possible. So here I will show you something more, and then I will send you all these PDF files and you can see yourself how that knowledge has been used. So I think I have already completed this part, fitting the quadratic equation and determination of the optimum dose. I finished uses of response curve. Now we start from here. Now suppose you want to analyze this data in software. You want to fit linear equation as well as quadratic equation through some softwares. The most common is Excel. Everybody has MS Excel in his computer or his desktop, laptop, whatever you have. This MS Excel is there. So suppose you want to do some statistical analysis, including correlation, regression, then you need to go to Excel and you can find data here. I put one arrow and you go to the data. Here you will find statistical analysis software. But those who use this Microsoft Excel first time, they need to install the analysis tool pack. Analysis tool pack you need to install. So you can see number 2 here, arrow, where data analysis is given. In your Excel, it may not be seen. You need to install it, which is there inbuilt in your MS Excel. So now you can see how we can install it. You go to file and see number 1 here, go to file, click on the file, and then you will see this kind of general formulas, proofing, save, language. In this you find add-in. So select the add-in, number 2. Number 3 is select analysis tool pack. When you click on add-in, you will see analysis tool pack. Select it, number 3. And number 4, you need to click go. You don't need not to click OK, you need to click the go and then press OK. Next. So this tool pack will be installed in your Excel. It will be installed in your Excel. You can see data analysis. You see the number 2 figure here, data analysis. So this will be visible. In data analysis, you can do all kind of data analysis. So first step is to install data analysis in your MS Excel. Now, these are different variables that you worked out. Suppose manually, you want to do your regression analysis manually, you can do in Excel. Instead of using calculator, you can do it in Excel. For example, this is linear relationship, X variable in the first column, second column, fertile tillers. Fertile tillers, and you want to see association between plant height and fertile tiller. Are they associated? So you need to work out mean of X, mean of Y, and then summation X, small x, summation small y, summation x square, y square, xy. So these kind of parameters, you can work out A and B, and then you can work out correlation coefficient. So in Excel also, you can do this analysis of linear equation, or fitting of linear equation. Now, you can see this table, this data. This data has nitrogen rates 0, 10, 20, 30, 50, up to 110. 110, and then your different variables are there. These are the variables. For example, first variable is plant height at harvest. So you can have plant height at any stage. It is just a variable. Number 2, fertile tiller. Number 3, spike length, seed weight or spike weight, grains per spike, test weight, grain yield. So these are different symbols for variables. So these are different variables. And now you want to see the association between these variables. You want to see relationship between plant height and fertile tiller, or fertile tiller and grains per spike. So if you want to see relationship among all these variables, you can go for computation of correlation coefficient. You can work out the correlation coefficient and then see the significance of correlation coefficient between any two parameters or any two variables. So how you can do it? Because I cannot run Excel online. I'm unable to run PDF file also, so I'm unable to run Excel. Therefore, I made it in your PowerPoint. So you can see what you need to do. That data is you can type or paste in the Excel sheet like this. Can you see it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what you can do, you can type data like this, and you want to see relationship, correlation coefficient you want to work out or calculate between any two variables. Then in this fashion, you can type the data. This is just color. Color is given. It does not matter. Color will not change the result. It is just by chance that I put some colors. Colors mainly, if you want to see relationship between green and black, you can see green and blue or whatever you like. So now you can go to data analysis. Data analysis tool pack is there in your Excel, and then click on data analysis. It is on the right corner, on the top of the right corner. And then in this, you can select correlation. In this, select the correlation and click OK. So if you click OK, you will get page like this. You can see here, input range. So for input range, click here, click on the red arrow here, and then you can select all these values. You can select all these values and click the labels in first row. In first row, you have typed NRAD, PHH, FT. This is not numerical data. This is qualitative data. So these are actually labels. So you can tick this labels in first row. And then output options, where you want to see your results. So you can just click on output range. If you want in new worksheet, you can do it, new workbook, whatever option you want to see your result, you can click. So suppose here it is output range. Then you select it and click again on the red button and just select one or two cells there and click on OK. Then you will get the results like this. You will get the results like this. So in this format, you will get the result. And then you can have interpretations. For example, you need to count the number of pairs of the data. So here you can count from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 pairs. So 12 pairs minus 2, 10. At 10 degrees of freedom, you need to see correlation coefficient table value at 5% level of significance. And then you can compare with these values. These are the calculated values, and you can find one common table value of correlation coefficient at 10 degrees of freedom. Suppose, I don't know how much it will be, but suppose it is 0.75 or 0.8. Assume it is 0.80. So values which are more than 0.8 will be significant, and values which are less than 0.8 are non-significant. So for significant, you can put a star, and for non-significant, you can type NS. So in this case, you can see some places you get minus sign also. So you see in the first row, you have plant height at harvest, fertile tillers, spike length. So you can take a common cell where your row and column are meeting. For example, if I want to see plant height at harvest, see in the row 1, and I want to see the correlation of this with the fertile tillers, then the value will be 0.702166. This is the value. This is the relationship between fertile tiller and plant height. Because your correlation coefficient of the table value was 0.8 and this is 0.7, it means it is non-significant. It also suggests that there is no relationship between plant height and fertile tiller number. Similarly, some places you get minus, see the column 1. In column 1, you go to the grain yield, GY. The GY against GY, you see minus 0.92214. This is the value of the correlation coefficient. So it is significant because it is more than 0.8. But you see it is negative. The rate, the direction of change is negative. It means nitrogen rate and biological and this grain yield have negative relationship. So don't bother about it. It is very hypothetical data. It is just to explain to you that here grain yield and nitrogen rate are having negative relation. If you increase one, other is decreasing. So I think you will be able to interpret these kind of correlation coefficients. And if you fail, maybe I will try next time to show you in Excel, if I can run Excel. So likewise, for the same results, we can put your star like this. N minus 2 degrees of freedom, 12 minus 2 is equal to 10. And see the significant at 5% level of significance. The value is 0.702. 0.702 is the table value of R in this case. So values which are more than this are significant. So you can put a star on those values. Now you can try yourself. This is example where you get treatment. In treatment, you get different levels of the treatment. And it does not matter in correlation analysis. The levels of treatment does not matter. What matter is the value of the variables. So in these variables are in column number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all are variables. So you want to see relationship between these variables. First is glomerase content. This is enzyme, acid phosphatase, alkaline phosphatase, FD, and so on. So you can do this exercise in your Excel program. You can try. If next time, if I got a chance, I will explain you in Excel if it can be run online. So you get result like this. So for us, for our case, if you do any kind of research work, you record any kind of data. And if you see that, if you want to see the relationship in those kind of data, you can start with correlation analysis. Anything, whatever you record. Suppose some of you are soil scientists here. Soil scientists will see the phosphorus, available phosphorus level in soil. So he can take number of variety of soils. He can take 4 or 5 kind of soils, say soil 1, soil 2, soil 3, soil 4, soil 5. In all these soils, he can see the level of phosphorus, level of zinc. Suppose level of phosphorus and level of zinc has been estimated in 2 soils, in 5 kind of soils, then you can see the relationship between this phosphorus and zinc level. Is it significant? Are they correlated across the soils? So this is how we can use this knowledge. Again, some homework for you. You can try this calculating correlation coefficient. This is, you can try this for linear fitting, fitting of linear regression. This is example for fitting the linear regression. You can test whether this particular relationship between X and Y is linear and test it for linearity and also work out the equation, correlation analysis, A to Z. 5 steps are there. You can follow 5 steps. You can do it manually and you can also do it in Excel. In Excel, you can do it. I'll show you how can you do in Excel. So in this case, you can see on the extreme left top corner, left side, you see K rate and yield. So these are the K rate, potassium rate of application 0, 20, 40, 60, and yield. Now you want to fit a line to this. First you want a line. Then you go to select the data, and go to insert. Go to insert, and in insert you will find add trend line. Add trend line. And then this page will open. On the right side you see format trend line. You can select linear. Or if you want quadratic equation, you can select polynomial. Suppose here we select linear, and then you can select on the bottom, you have display equation on chart and display R square value. So you can select the things you like, and then you will immediately get the line. From this, you will get the line, and you will also get the equation. And this is another case where you get soil pH and the Olsen P. What is happening here? Soil pH is decreasing and Olsen phosphorus is increasing. So you can see it is negative relationship, negative correlation. So in this case also you can develop the equation. You can see whether it is linear relationship or quadratic relationship or some other kind of relationship. So you can see it in Excel. One more example for your homework. You can try it for linear equation manually as well as your Excel. Actually, you need to do a lot of practice. If you do practice, then you can understand this subject better. And then suppose you are fitting polynomial of degree 2, x square, or quadratic relationship. So same way you can go to data, select the data, go to polynomial and select 2 power 2, and you will get this kind of line. So this is how we can write the equation on the curve, on the line, and also write the optimum economic dose. I have shown you how you can work out the optimum economic dose. You have the equation. This is the equation. Y is equal to minus 0.0001 x square plus 0.0311 x plus 2.0305. So in this case, value of B is 0.0311 and value of C is minus 0.0001. So now you have value of B, value of C, value of A. And from these values, particularly B and C, you can work out the maximum yield dose, the optimum dose, and you can do the all kind of economic analysis, what I have shown you in the forenoon. So for this also polynomial, this quadratic equation, you can work out, you can practice how you can work out the optimum dose for this equation. You can assume the price and cost of the input, price of the output. You can assume some value and you can practice. Some more exercise you can do. And finally, if you have done economic analysis, this is the way to make a table. To present your result, you can present your result in this way. Column 1 is parameter, column 2 is formula or formulae, and then value. So maximum yield dose minus B upon 2C, you can write the value here. And similarly, all other parameters you can write in tabular form. Now, in the morning, one of you had a question that suppose you have fitted, you got a data, because anything can happen in statistics. And suppose you have a data, this particular data, 0, 50, 100, 150. And you have Y also 2, 3.8, 4.6, 4.8. And in this case, at the starting point, you will fit the linear equation. As I told you, we start with linear, then go for quadratic, cubic, and so on. This is the order. So if you start fitting linear equation, you get Y is equal to 0.0184x plus 2.42. And R square is 0.8672. And if you go to quadratic equation, if you same data, if you are fitting quadratic equation, then you get minus 0.002x square plus 0.042 24x plus 2.02, and R square is 0.9984. Suppose it can happen. Suppose both are significant. It can happen. Some data is of such a type that it can show you both kind of relationship as significant. So now which one is the better? Which one is the better choice? In that case, we go for R square. R square. So in the second case where you have quadratic equation, R square is very high, 0.9984. Although both are significant, but R square is very high in quadratic relationship. Therefore, we will choose the quadratic equation. So here I want to tell you that regression has been very much misused by the people. And there is one chapter or part of the chapter, finding the best regression. I have told you one chapter number 9 of Gomez and Gomez book. In that you will find one topic, finding the best regression. So which should be the better choice? You can go through it. And also you will find one topic, uses and misuses of regression. Because nobody is going to check your back data. They will just see the figure, line, R square, equation, and so on. So it is up to your honesty, what kind of business you are doing. Are you doing it with honesty or just for the sake of publishing it? Now, friends, you want to test the linearity of or you simply want to test the regression, whether it is significant or non-significant. Is it linear or not? Is it quadratic or not? For this, same tool will be used. In Excel, I have shown you data analysis tool pack. And in that, if you click there, you will find regression also. Regression, option of regression, like we have seen option of correlation. So you click regression and then click OK. Again, here you need to put the input Y range. Input Y range means you need to select the dependent variable. Here Y means dependent variable. You click on the red button and it will get minimized. It will get minimized and then you select the yield. Yield 3.5, 3. All these you can select. Then go to input X range and minimize it. Just click on the red arrow. It will be minimized. And then select K rate 0, 20, 40, 60. You select it and then tick the labels. Labels in the first row. Labels in the first row. So you tick the labels and confidence level is 95% or your level of significance is 5%. And then output range. Click on the red button, it will get minimized and just select few columns, few rows or few cells in the Excel sheet where you want your result to see. And then if you want residuals, residuals means difference in observed and expected values. If you want residuals, you can click residual and then click OK. So you will get result like this. You will get result like this. Means now we are able to find out the value of correlation coefficient, coefficient of determination, and also value of A and B. So what we were doing manually, now we are doing with the help of software, Excel. So in this case, you can see multiple R. This is correlation coefficient. It has given you correlation coefficient. It has also given you R square. R square is coefficient of determination. If you square the 0.9993, you will get 0.987. So this is R square done by computer. And then you see ANOVA, analysis of variance. I have shown you. So you see regression, it is 1. Degree of freedom is 1. If you are having linear regression, degree of freedom is 1. If you have quadratic, degree of freedom is 2. And then total is n minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, so it is 3. And then 3 minus 1, residual is 2. Now sum of square, you remember how we calculated sum of square for regression, sum of square for error, and so on. And total sum of square was summation y square. Now mean square. Sum of squares divided by the degree of freedom, you get mean square. F calculated, you get mean square due to regression divided by mean square due to error. So you get F calculated, which is 160. So now you can see table value of F at 1 and 2 degrees of freedom. If your calculated value is more than table value, then it is significant, otherwise non-significant. But this Excel is giving you probability of significance level. It is, you multiply 0.006192 by 100. If you multiply it by 100, it will be 0.61%. So that means it is significant at 0.6%. If it is significant at 0.6%, then it is also significant at 1%. It is also significant at 5%. So that means our relationship is linear. Our relationship is linear. And then you see one more table where you see intercept. Intercept is written. Intercept means A. Y is equal to A plus BX. So this A is intercept. So here value of intercept is 3.45. 3.45. And value of B. B is 0.02. 0.02 is the value of B, that is regression coefficient. And 3.45 is the value of A. Now you see the residual output also. So it is it is for all the pairs, for the 4 pairs. In the first difference of observed and predicted values. So it is 0.05, 0.05. And if you make the total of all residuals, it will be 0. So it is like this. We go for residual analysis also, but that is beyond the scope of this course. Now, suppose for the same data, you want to fit a quadratic equation in Excel. So you need to do one more modification. That is, you need to insert one more column. So first column is X. Now your variables are 2, X and X square. So now levels are 2. So you square the value of X, you will get X square. So 20 into 20, 400, and 40 into 40, 1600, and 60, 3600. So you need to make one more column. And same procedure you need to follow, what you followed for the linear. So in this case, first option is input Y range. Means you need to select Y. So here minimize it by pressing on, clicking on the red arrow. And then you select yield 3.5, 3.8, all these data you select. Then go to input range. Input range, click and select both X and X square, both should be selected. Select both X and X square and all the values below them. Select, then tick levels and tick confidence level, and then output range same way, and then you can click residual. So, and finally you click OK. So then you will get this kind of result, these kind of results right on the Excel sheet. So here multiple R is 1, R square is 1. I don't know what is adjusted R square, but this is something there for a statistician. And then you see ANOVA. In ANOVA regression, the degree of freedom is 2 because we are having quadratic regression. Then total is 3. So 3 minus 2, 1. 1 is for the residual. Then sum of square, values of sum of square. Then mean square, sum of square divided by degree of freedom, and then F calculated, regression mean square divided by residual mean square. So you get F calculated. And then you can see the significance of the regression, whether it is significant or not. Means is it quadratic equation or not. And intercept, you can see intercept value is 3.5, and your X here means value of B. Value of B is 0.0 1, 2, 5. And above this, you see coefficients. So intercept 3.5 and regression coefficient is B is 0.0125 and then C is 0.000125. So this is how you got A, B, C, and you can put these values in the equation, and that is your equation. That will be your quadratic equation. So now you can compare. You can compare here. The data was same, or maybe different. Whatever data was there, you compare two. Which one is the better fit? So in this case, in the first case, when it was fitted linear, you see multiple R, correlation coefficient was 0.93. But for quadratic, correlation coefficient was 0.999. R square was 0.86, but here R square is 0.99. And then overall, you see the significance also in the table. Linearity is significant at 6.8%. You multiply 0.068 into 100, it will become level of significance. So it is significant at 6.8%. Linear relationship, but quadratic relationship is significant at 4.04%. Means it is significant at 5%. So the better option here is quadratic regression. So it is definitely a quadratic regression. So this is how we can compare which regression to fit. Is it linear, quadratic, cubic, or so on? Now, one more example, you can see variable X and Y. A field investigation was carried out to record the response of wheat to nitrogen. The relationship between N levels and grain yield was found out to be quadratic. The computed quadratic equation was this. In this equation, the Y is yield in ton per hectare, X is the kg nitrogen per hectare. Compute the following items when the cost of 1 kg of nitrogen is 10 and price of 1 ton of rice is rupees 10,000. So you need to calculate these kind of parameters. And I'm sure that this will be asked in your exam. So you practice it. You practice such examples where you will be given the equation. We will provide you equation, quadratic equation, and we will ask you to compute these economic parameters like maximum yield dose, optimum economic dose, estimate the yield at 50 kg nitrogen because you have equation. So in place of X, you just put 50. Then you will find the yield at 50 kg nitrogen. Response at optimum dose and response in kg per kg, all have been taught to you yesterday or this morning. This is another problem that will be given to you in your final exam. Such kind of problems are given. Fit a linear equation from the following data. Also test the linearity of the equation if F table at 1-2 degree of freedom percent level of significance is 18.5. So such kind of examples will be given to you to fit linear equation. We will never give you fitting the quadratic equation, but we will give you fitting the linear equation, how you can fit the linear equation. So you know X and Y and how you calculate corrected sum of square, deviation against mean and square and so on. So this finishes this part. And any question from this? Any question you want to discuss from this? Hello?
No, sir.
Are you asleep?
Sir.
No, sir.
Yeah,
No, sir.
Because I was handicapped. I could not show you in Excel. Because learning by doing is the best way. But unfortunately, it cannot be done. So what I suggest you practice, you try to practice it. If you come across any problem, then I will try to sort it out. I'll make it more, I'll take screenshots and then again try to solve this problem.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, how can we define the degree of freedom for regression or residuals? Is it from plot or anything else?
See, degree of freedom, the definition is same. The fundamental of degree of freedom is same. Here, degree of freedom means number of pairs of data. Number of pairs of data, number of pairs of X and Y. So for regression, it is if it is linear, it is 1. And for quadratic 2, cubic 3, and 4, and henceforth. So I really could not find the answer. I tried to speak to people in IESRA, and no one can tell me that why in linear regression degree of freedom is 1, why it is 2, it is fixed in quadratic, why it is 2, in cubic it is always 3. So for regression, degree of freedom is always fixed. For error,
Sir,
you know,
sir,
it,
sir, if,
just
sir,
yes,
if I
yes.
have, sir, if I have exponential equation, then the degree of freedom.
Pardon?
Sir, exponential equation, then what is the degree of freedom for regression?
Dear, I have never touched any exponential equation. I do not know anything about exponential regression. I did in BSc Agriculture. Power E, na? Power E is in the power in
Yes, sir.
exponential.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Eh?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
Yes.
forgot, my dear. I have no idea about it. I don't know about
Oh.
it. That is, we are basically agronomists. We know very small mathematics or just statistics. So I do not know. So, but you asked anything, what I told, if you could not understand any point here, if you go outside the scope of this subject, then I may not be able to answer. But within this, what I told, within this, within the scope of this subject, or within this subject,
Sir,
if
okay. Okay.
yes,
Sir,
yes.
for it means for residuals, it is related with the sir. How many is the x or variables in the table for the residual degree of freedom, sir?
For the residual degree of freedom, it is by difference. It is by difference because total degree of freedom is known to us. Total degree of freedom is n minus 1. Number of pairs of observation minus 1.
Yes, sir.
So total is clear to us. And for regression, I told that for linear, it is always 1. For quadratic, it is always 2 because maybe there are two variables, x and x square, or two terms. I got this much of answer. And then if it is cubic, you need to fix. Cubic means three different levels of the variable, x square, and x cube. So in that case, for cubic, you need to always write 3. So for cubic, you will need 5 at least. You know, yesterday I sent one email to all of you, and I asked you to see certain pages of Gomez and Gomez book. So you see those
Yes, sir.
pages. You see those pages. If you are putting higher degree of if you are fitting higher degree of polynomial, then you need to increase number of pairs. Otherwise, it is not possible. Suppose you have 4 and you want to fit cubic relationship, you cannot do it because there will be zero error. There will be zero error, and it is not possible. It is not very likely. So
Yes, sir.
minimum 4 is required for quadratic relationship. For cubic, minimum will be 5, something like this. So
Okay,
why
sir.
it is, why it is fixed 2 or 1 for regression? I tried to find answer in IESRA, and I struggled, really struggled, but I could not find the answer. But if any one of you knows the answer, you can share with me. I will be very happy to know it. Or you note it down, and if you study courses in IESRA, statistics courses, then you will definitely get chapter on correlation regression analysis, and they will definitely try to tell you why this is fixed. And if you know it, know it, then tell me.
So degree of freedom is basically the path in which the data can move. So for linear, it can only move in one way. So that's why freedom is one. One way means like it in the straight line, but for quadratic, it can go. I mean, it is curvilinear, so it can go either to the right, left. I means like one side to the left, like east west, and another to north south. So that is 2 in nature. For cubic, it can go east, west, north, south, but it can also come back, means come back down. So it is 3 in nature.
Oh, very nice. Looks to be very convincing. I request you to send me this reply by email so that I can tell next time to the students. Okay, I'm very happy that you have answer. And you please send
Yes,
me,
sir.
mail me this answer. And you also mail me from which book you are reading. I also like to read those kind of things which are not known to me. Hello.
So it is in physics. Yes, sir.
I'm really, it is wonderful that you have very good knowledge of this subject, and I really appreciate. I like it. So, which book you are reading, dear? How
Sir,
you
it
have
was taught in
such a good knowledge of this subject, and you are in MSc,
yes, sir.
or you had some course or some teacher who taught you this kind of subject, or I'm
Degree of
really
freedom
happy.
physics in 12th class. So there it was told ki like the way means the positions in
Sir,
which
in
it
the
can move.
physics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
12th class.
I can request you to send me reference the book, what kind of book you read, because I
Yes.
want some good books that those give us fundamental knowledge. Actually, many times when we read or study this kind of subject, if one small point you miss, you will miss everything. You will miss everything. So many times they start writing, particularly American people, they start writing from the top. If you start writing from the bottom or teaching from the bottom, then subject becomes easier, maybe a tough subject. So really, we need some good books which give us answer. See, what student want? When student attend a class, he first thing he want that whatever teacher is teaching, he should be able to understand. If a student is not getting, not understanding, he will lose interest in the class. Second point is that he should get something new from the teacher. If a person is teaching you, he should add to your existing knowledge. And third point is that a teacher should be able to answer the questions of the students. So if three things are satisfied, then it can be a good teaching. So that is why we want to have more and more idea about this subject so that we can do justice, we can do better teaching. So any other question?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Sir, while determining the degree of
Your
freedom,
your your doubts nobody can clear. Anyway, ask.
sir, while
Yes.
determining freedom,
Yeah.
means, for calculating the ANOVA table, we take n minus 1.
Yes.
Sir, but for calculating f value, we take n minus 2.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, means why like,
Means for calculating f value.
yes, sir. Sir, means it's written
So
in this slide.
actually, it is. Mm, it depends upon total degrees of freedom. But for uh, it was in linear case. In case of linear, it was n minus 2. Yes. But if your regression is uh, I need to check it. I need to check. I should not tell lie. I should not tell lie, or you can explain.
Sir, in slide number 27, it's written n minus 2. So why I cannot understand.
I need to check it, and I will have a chance to explain it. Nobody asked me this question, so I did
Okay,
not
sir.
bother about it. That is the problem. So I will
Okay,
definitely find answer. I will definitely find answer. So let me make last try to open that PDF file. I want to share very good information actually. So first what I will do, I will leave and we will join after 5 minutes. And then I will take hardly 15-20 minutes. So, okay.
Okay,
Hello.
sir.
We will join
Okay,
after
sir.
5 minutes. After 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
ജ്ഞാനമയുടെ അക്ഷയ